Hello, everyone, and thanks again for joining me on this fifth vlog. It's been quiet for 2 weeks. I do apologize, but I'm back with a vengeance. I'm going to this week again, like the previous times, look at South African individuals and organizations who are deserving of Cupcake of the Week. But before we start with the nominations, I had a conversation recently with a friend about should we keep quiet about things happening in South Africa or should we speak up? And my view is simple. If we don't speak up about things that we see as not quite okay, then we say, go ahead, you're okay, do what you want. So I'm not giving my consent to certain things happening. And I'm one of the many frogs that have been boiling for many years. Well, this frog has gotten out of the cauldron and I'm saying enough. So, yes, I'm speaking up. So, with no further ado, my first nomination for this week goes to institutions. It's a joint nomination. And I'm breaking my own rule. One of the institutions is not South Africa. And I'm nominating Department of Home Affairs and Leon Schreiber, as well as the United States of America Embassy in South Africa. Now, why am I doing that? They're playing little games and we are having to pay the price for it. And when I say we, I mean the normal person like every little kukulole on the ground. And it's not okay. So, why do I say they are nominated for Cupcake of the Week? Let's start with the USA Embassy. The raid that the Department of Home Affairs and Immigration did recently on one of their offices to try and identify illegal immigrants was the premises is not an official premises. So it doesn't have diplomatic immunity. And South Africa had every right to go in there if they thought they were illegal immigrants. So USA, not good on that one. The second is you knowingly employed 7 people who had only tourist visas and not working visas. Yes, I'm aware that you did apply and try and negotiate for their tourist visas to be changed to working visas. But then you wait till the working visa is approved and then you employ them, not before. Dis so helder soos hotel koffie. You can't do that. But that does not indemnify Leon Schreiber and his home affairs. You went in guns blazing. If you had known about the 7 Kenyans, as you allege after everything happened, then you engage with the US Embassy and you say, listen guys, you're employing people that have no working visas. Not okay. Can we discuss this? How can we resolve this issue? That's called diplomacy, and that should have happened. Didn't. No. You stormed into the building with a whole lot of officials wanting the register where people were registering their names to enter the building. Why? You were taking photographs and video of all the people there and saying things like, your officials were saying things like, we now know who you are. If that's not intimidation, I don't know why. Anyway, you then say, but we did inform these 7 Kenyans that they were not granted their work visas. Guess what? The last letter saying exactly that to them was not given to them or the US Embassy. It was sent to Nairobi. So how do you expect them to know? Aishwena. So yes, nomination for both is very deserved. However, one official went a little bit further. He took one of the embassy's employees, valid United States Embassy employee, made a copy of their passport, which was duly, when nobody knows who did it, was duly spread on social media. His passport clearly states that this person is working for the United States outside of the United States. Person is clearly not white. Person has clearly an African surname. However, he has a United States passport. Violating somebody's privacy like that is not on, especially since we are supposed to have, everybody, drum roll, Poppy Act. So where's the Poppy Act here? And don't tell me You did not know who did that. Of course you know. So, like I said, well-deserved nomination. Leon Schreiber, I hope you're listening. Doubt it though. Doubt it. But yeah, not good for the DA. Not good for the DA. Second nomination, National Prosecuting Authority. The director, Shamila Batoy, was in front of a commission that she requested, inquiry that she requested from Cyril Ramaphosa. She was clearly unprepared, arrogant, aggressive. The unpreparedness of her astounded me, and I'm sure a lot of people. Because surely you know you need to prepare for this. But really, what irked me as a taxpayer of this country, at the end of Friday's, was it Friday? Whatever. At the end of one of the sessions, she let them know after lunch she's not coming back to the commission. Now, firstly, you requested that commission, that inquiry. Us taxpayers are paying for that inquiry. So you better turn up. You're a senior member of the legal fraternity, and this is how you conduct yourself. Somebody has to say it, so I'm saying it. Not good, ma'am, not good. As a South African taxpayer, and I hopefully a lot of other people agree with me, we expected more from you. So yes, you're the second nomination. Third nomination, drumroll, has to go the MK party, Mkhonto Sizwe party. Recently in the KwaZulu-Natal legislature, they wanted no confidence motion against the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Ntuli, which is their right, fair right. That's how things work in politics. Except when the Speaker decided that the vote against or for Premier Ntuli was going to be an open ballot and not a closed vote. The MK party went bananas, and scenes occurred in the legislature that, for me as a South African, and I'm sure many other South Africans, was embarrassing. We hold our politicians, hopefully, let me rephrase that, we hope that our politicians behave better, and they surely didn't. But what was mostly disturbing, at one point they manhandled the speaker, Madam Boyce, and that comes less than a month after we had a month of activism against gender-based violence. They manhandled her. And there were two scenes where, now in the legislature, in front of the speaker, there are three legal beavers sitting. And one is a lady. Twice, in the beginning of all the ruckus and the end of the ruckus, MK members were this far from her face, shouting at her, aggressively shouting at her. Not on. My question to that person who did the first one, how would you feel if somebody did that to your mother or your wife or your daughter? When everything was winding down, it again happened. So much so that a male colleague stepped in front of her to protect her from the onslaught. In South Africa, we've got a huge problem of gender-based violence. What are we teaching our sons? That this is okay to be so threatening and aggressive towards a woman who cannot possibly physically defend themselves? And I'm not saying that we are lesser human beings. We just simply don't have the strength that a man has. So what are we saying to our sons? It's okay. You can intimidate a woman. I was really ashamed of being a South African when I saw what was happening there. Anyway, be that as this may, those are the three nominations for this week. My nomination or my award for Cupcake of this week has to go to Department of Home Affairs and the USA Embassy. Cupcake, a nice, again, checkers cupcake for you. And as this is the last vlog just before Christmas, may I wish you all a very merry and blessed Christmas. See you next week.